Okay, and here we are.
Rolling?
And here we are. Let me say, with one of my childhood heroes, Total Recall, Starship Troopers, Top Gun, so many iconic films. So how is it for you when you are?
I'm one of your childhood heroes.
Of course, one of them, because
You just mentioned a whole bunch of sick characters, and I'm your childhood hero. What kind of childhood did you have?
a funny one. So how is it for you when you're seeing yourself back on screen after all these years in these classics?
I don't understand the question.
So how is it for you when you're watching now Top Gun or when you're watching now Total Recall?
It's like looking at old family pictures. That's all. You know, when you look at old family pictures, they bring back memories and stuff. But I very rarely watch what I've done before.
You told us that you have no favorites from your movies, but I think one of my favorites is Starship Troopers, because I love this sarcastic touch in this movie, and I think if you're looking of things that happen now, sometimes of that is like Paul Verhoeven would have looked in the future in some kind of funny way. So when you're looking Starship Troopers, how is it for you watching this cult classic again?
I don't understand the question. Look, Paul Verhoeven's an incredible artist to work with. For me, an artist says they have a concept, they go through a medium and into the audience's mind with the least amount of distortion. And I had the privilege of working with Paul twice, Total Recall and then Starship Troopers. Paul knew exactly what he wanted, you know. He's a great filmmaker. You know, it's interesting working with Paul. I've done so many films, and not always are you comfortable working with a director. I'm not, because sometimes they don't know what they want. But I always felt safe around Paul because he knew exactly what he wanted. And that allows you to feel safe. It allows you to be, I think the best of us as actors are children, so it allows you to play, you know what I mean, to take chances, knowing that the person in charge has got control of everything. How does it feel looking back? It feels like looking at old family photographs, people I've seen from the past and stuff. But very rarely I look at my own stuff. I'm more concerned with what I'm doing next. So.
Okay. And are you in some way a fan of this kind of genre, science fiction or horror movies?
Am I a fan of science fiction?
Yeah. Or did you more like in private watching romantic comedies or some stuff?
It's none of your business. I'm just kidding. No. When I grew up, my grandfather was a member of a group called the 110. They wrote short stories, science fiction short stories, and gave them to each other. It was a kind of a writing club. And then in the 50s, all those club members and all the stories became Sci-Fi magazine. And I was raised on science fiction. My grandfather once explained to me, he said, science fiction allows you to tell stories that are politically complicated and maybe touchy, but if you put them in the future or you put them in space, it allows the audience to relax and consider those ideas instead of, you know, putting them right in their face and stuff. So they're politically educational, and I enjoy it. I enjoy science fiction. They're all westerns anyway, whether it's a spaceship or a horse. They're just guns and bad guys and good guys and falling in love with the women and stuff. So.
And you told a very great story before in the panel. If you can tell us this also for the camera, your moment on Starship Troopers when you got killed by the bugs and had this really weird day of shooting where you nearly passed out, you know?
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Because this is a great story.
No, it's not. It's a very painful story. I ended up in the hospital. No, I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. And did you have maybe some other funny memories from the shooting of Starship Troopers? Because you're working with all this prosthetic and stuff.
I don't feel comfortable talking about what goes on behind camera. What goes on behind camera, no. I think it's the nature of the internet and the media today that everyone wants to know, and they all think they know what's going on behind camera. You lose some of the mystique, some of the mystery, the fantasy, the joy, the romance. I'd rather keep it a secret. Like the circus secret, you know? You don't let people know what's going on. Let them enjoy the entertainment.
And my last question, you told before that you have also collected props and gives it to a charity. That you have collected props from your movies and gives it to a charity auction. So
I haven't collected props. I've stolen things from the movies I've made, and what I do is I hold on to them until they're worth something, and then I give them to auction houses. Money they raise go to foundations like for drug recovery centers or for MS patients or for art restoration or historical restoration. I'm not very sentimental about things, but like I talk about it, like the flight jacket, Jester's flight jacket from from Top Gun. A lot of money for that went to a drug rehab in California desert. One of the swords from Highlander 2, the pair of those, a lot of money on that. That went into an MS research foundation. I'm one of those guys, if you want to hold on to something, you got to give it away. Whether it's a good fortune, good luck. If you want to help the situation, you want to help the world, you got to give it away. If you want to keep it, you got to give it away. Is any of this making sense?
It makes sense because this tells me that you're a good person. When you're donating things, when you're donating things and making charity.
Could you bring my family in here and you could tell them I'm a good person? Did you hear that, girls? I'm a good person.
Okay, thank you very much. Great talking to you.
All right.
And enjoy your time
God
here
bless now.
in Cologne.
Thanks for your